The Trump administration is threatening California with fines and legal action after a transgender athlete competed in girls' track and field events at a state competition. Let's bring in CBS News correspondent Elise Preston, who is live for us from Los Angeles. Elise, tell us about California's recent rule regarding athletes who are transgender and how we saw it in action this past weekend.
Well, Elizabeth, high school junior A.B. Hernandez had a really strong track and field season, leading her all the way to the state championships. Now, the 16-year-old medaled in 3 events over the weekend, but her wins are shared with her competitors. Last week, the state's governing body for high school sports, the California Interscholastic Federation, announced it would extend access for more athletes who are assigned female at birth. The decision comes amid a nationwide fight over the right of people who are transgender to compete in women's sports. Now, at least 24 states have laws in place that restrict transgender women and girls from participating in competitions with other women. The Trump administration has been critical of California's moves in this area. Democratic lawmakers in the state blocked 2 bills just in April that would have barred trans girls from participating in girls' sports.
And Elise, the president has spoken out about California specifically, saying on Truth Social that he warned against this. What was that warning?
Well, Elizabeth, to understand the controversy surrounding this competition, let's go back to February when President Trump signed an executive order titled Keeping Men Out of Women's Sports. Now, people perceive that order to take aim at athletes who are transgender or don't identify with the sex they were assigned at birth. California continuing to allow girls who are transgender to participate in these competitions doesn't align with that executive order. Now, the president has threatened to pull federal funding in the state, to paraphrase him here, if transgender students are not barred from participating in girls' sports. Meanwhile, the head of Justice Department's Civil Rights Division, Harmeet Dillon, wrote to California Public Schools Monday calling the decision to allow athletes who are transgender to compete, quote, unconstitutional. On top of that, Dillon ordered the California Interscholastic Federation to inform the Justice Department by June 9th that it would no longer abide by a law that covers athletes who are transgender. California Attorney General Rob Bonta, his office is looking into the letter and tells CBS News it is closely monitoring the Trump administration's actions in this space. Elizabeth?
Elise Preston, thank you so much, Elise.